The idea I'd like to share is a way of imagining life as a treasure hunt. As we seek the places that we belong, the work that we can do, there are so many choices that go into who we become and how our life journeys unfold. And there are so many things also that we do not get to choose along the way. So in this process, too often, trying to figure out where we belong or what we're supposed to do can feel like a burden to carry or a problem that we have to solve. We worry about what will happen if we drop the ball or get it wrong. The worry is real, as are the consequences of our choices. But we aren't stuck with that sense of burden or problem, which doesn't usually improve the outcome anyway. We have another option. We can imagine life as a treasure hunt. It's a different way to think about the journey and the choices that you face along the way. In a treasure hunt, you look for a clue that will lead you to the next one. There can be complications or disruptions along the way. Either you interpret a clue incorrectly or you find yourself clueless for a while. But all in all, in a treasure hunt, the work is pretty simple, even though it's not always easy. You do the next right thing as best you can determine with the information that you have. And life is like that. There are complications, there are disruptions along the way, but all we have to do is the next right thing, using the best information that we have at the time. And this infuses the journey with a sense of adventure and freedom. Life just feels much better, less anxious. And I actually think our decisions become much better when we live from a sense of adventure and freedom rather than out of the fear of dropping the ball or getting it wrong. What drives a treasure hunt is a search for something precious, often surprising, and always a gift. And what if that confidence and hope drove our lives too? And what if it could do so even in times of disruption, when we feel like a failure or a loss, or even something wonderfully unexpected kind of knocks us off track? When I was a teenager, I worried a lot about getting off track. As I started facing decisions like what to study and where to go to college, I was terrified that I was going to screw it all up. In some ways, it seemed like my choices mattered immensely, and in some ways, it seemed like they didn't matter at all. I could tell that some aspects of life are chosen. Applications I submitted or didn't. Activities I pursued or chose not to. Classes I worked hard at or didn't take at all. Just how I chose to spend my time, for example. But then there were all these things in life that I did not choose. All the accidents of birth, what other people chose to do, all of those many, many parts of life that we do not control. Some people call this given part of life fate, or God, or the universe, or serendipity, or happenstance. As a young adult, I didn't care so much about the words. I just wanted to find a way to navigate my life well. So in my 30s, I worked with college students on their own life decisions, and we turned to the metaphor of a treasure hunt as a way to weave together the things we do control, our choices, with all the many things that we don't, and to find a sense of adventure and freedom in the process. And now teaching in the Honors College at UMaine, reading classic texts with students in the Civilizations course, it's fascinating how frequently subjects of fate and free will come up. And I hear echoes of my own lifelong question. What choices do we have? How do we weave them together with what is given into a coherent whole? By following the treasure hunt of our lives.